What's up, everybody? Dustin LeBlue here with the Dustin LeBlue CEO podcast, and I'm joined by my main man,
Austin Ray.
Dude,
Man,
nice
you know
intro.
what? I didn't know really how to throw my name out there on that one. I'm going to be awkward at the beginning of every one of these, but guys, the main point of this one today. So this is technically not going to be a full podcast episode. What is this?
So this is going to be our weekly espresso. So what we talked about doing is shedding some positive light on the weekend, going into the weekend, and we noticed a lot of these speakers are just always talking about themselves and just getting real involved. And, you can't be it because I work so hard. This is something that we just want to inspire you guys to move forward.
Yeah, exactly. So, much like a shot of espresso, that just gives you that ultimate kick, that, that jolt of energy. We want to give you that going into your weekend. So, again, it is only Thursday for us, and this is going to be released today. So, you've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, everything heading forward to concentrate on, but specifically take this positive note and really try to work on it this weekend. So today's actual Weekly Espresso episode is going to be about really the positive...
really just like not letting the outside world affect you in general.
Exactly.
We just let like every little thing affect what we really want to do. So we ultimately have to have our inner joy and inner passion ourselves and not let some depressing situation get us down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So you know what, guys? Don't let your setting or your surroundings dictate you and your happiness. And you know what? There's no better way for us to talk about this than to relate it to a recent story that we have actually gone through. So a lot of people may know we are based out of northern Arkansas, and we had a ton of rain and huge storms come through recently, and it actually flooded our 500,000 square foot facility and did a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I think it was on a Sunday night or Saturday night, and I got a call and a whole 500,000 square foot facility with millions of dollars in product, new build out, everything. We're about to open this thing in 3 weeks, right?
Yep.
So everything's damaged. So we're back to pretty much square one almost, but what we did a great job of as a team, we got in there, literally didn't think about it, started cleaning this place up. We were smiling. We were actually smiling. We were laughing. We were keeping it, just keeping it real positive, not letting this affect going forward. And we just kicked ass, man.
Exactly. So I remember it was that Saturday night. Dustin, you and I had been texting for just a little bit. And then you said, dude. And then you just sent me just one word. Then you sent me a picture, and there was probably, I would say, what, 2 foot? Would you say 2 foot? Maybe 3 foot of standing water inside of the facility. And then you know what? It was just Dustin maintained his positive attitude, the positive aura, and it's just everybody came in. Everybody showed up to help. There was probably 60, maybe 70 of the people throughout the companies that showed up. And right through the middle of all of it, you know what? You look out there and you see Dustin. He's got a smile on his face. He's still laughing, keeping it happy. And one thing I noticed was that everyone that ever looked, or anyone that was around him, maintained that positive mindset as well. They did not get down. They didn't once for a second think, oh God, am I going to lose my job? Or is there going to be something that happens because of this vast amount of damage? It's just the atmosphere there was actually in a positive light, as opposed to everybody being down and depressed. Yes, we were aware of the situation. Were we upset and were we super, just down about it? No, because we saw Dustin over there just you know what? Screw this. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be bigger, and I'm going to build. I'm not going to let this defeat me. That's a good way to put it.
And it's not saying that you don't get down for a little bit. Yeah, you get down for a little bit, but you have to understand to, pick yourself up. Don't stay in that depressing state, because if you stay in that depressing state, well, you're going to be depressed. So you have to just remember the ultimate goal, and the ultimate, thing here is helping people. I help a lot of people. A lot of people help me, and that's kind of that's kind of the main driving goal. That's what makes me happy, and I think a lot of people miss that point. What's going to make you happy, and what's going to keep you driving for the success to ultimately help other people.
Well, yeah,
right.
And the amount of people you help, it showed by the amount of people that showed up to help you in the time of need to get this place fixed, and just really start busting it and start cleaning. But one thing that a lot of people have to keep in mind is that you pretty much have to train your brain to pick out the positives. A lot of people have a really bad problem with always focusing on the negative aspects of any situation.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, man. So like if we go on our Facebook page, so we've mentioned in the podcast before, we have a lot of different social media outlets and a big following. Well, you're always going to be able to go on there and find a negative comment. And I think it's just built into our brains to go find the negative. It stands out, right? So there's a lot of people that will go on let's say a post, and there'll be 200 comments. Well, there might be only 5 negative comments. They're really negative. You know, they're just like picking on you, whatever the case may be. You really go to those negative comments, but instead you got to really train your brain to look at the positive comments, ignore the negative, and just really think about those. Like, because ultimately you have most of the people liking what you're saying or liking what you're doing or liking the product you're putting out, and you're actually ignoring them.
Yep. And you know what, man? I actually I found myself doing that because with one of our companies, you know, we produce a supplement that's just kind of geared more towards you know, like gaming, or you know, it's kind of like a healthier alternative to energy drinks. And there is a couple other businesses that have started doing this as well, but you know what, they were basically sending their few people in droves to come after us and like, you know, like berate our product. And every time I would log on Twitter, I would immediately look for the negative comment and try to respond to it. And then I was like, this doesn't make any sense, because for this one negative comment, I have, you know, 300 or 400 other immediate notifications of people talking about how great it is or how much they like it. And I'm like, why don't I respond to them and give them the time of day as opposed to this troll? Like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
And it made a vast difference in how I actually grew the Twitter account. So it went from like nothing, and I think now we just clipped 72,000 people.
Yeah, and it's pretty fresh and pretty new. And what you just said there is like, you know, you say troll or you say like the negative person on there. That's what they want you to do. They want to bring you down because they are having a hard time, you know, elevating themselves or elevating their inner self. So, you know, what happens is that if a troll says something online, that might put you in a like, you know, bad emotional state. You stay in that bad emotional state, that bad emotion long enough, then it's a mood, then it's a personality. Then you just become this really crabby person that can't see the positive outlook on life or just doing some crazy, amazing stuff.
Exactly. And you know what? To talk about those people in specific, it's kind of like a depressing thought always creates like a depressing life. Yeah. People that don't ever see the positive light in any situation, they always seem down. They're always drab. They don't really ever have, you know, like any motivational factor to them. They just always...
Well, think about a depressing, like picture a depressing person in your head. Like, what do you think about? Like, you know,
yeah,
like they're just kind of slumped over and feeling shitty, and it's just a bad aura, I guess.
Yeah,
know?
Exactly. So the main thought though, guys, is don't focus on the negative shit that's around you. Go for the positivity. Figure out, okay, so if you have one depressing thing that's just, you know, popped up in front of you in your life, look and at least try to name 3 positive things. 3 positive things that matter to you that greatly overpower that one negative. And in your day, just focus on those and you know, don't look back at the depressing thing, and just try to keep your day in a better light, and try to incorporate that in your life in general. I think that'll help.
Yeah, and if you do that, it's gonna help you reach your ultimate goal, whatever that goal may be. Like some people it's more money based, some people it's, you know, it's more family, or whatever the case may be. But you gotta you really have to try this shit. It's like not easy. It's not easy. Like I was telling you just before we started the podcast, like I felt like crap yesterday, but I had to literally try to think about my thoughts and think about just trying not to think about negative stuff, because it is hard to not do that, right?
Exactly.
But you have to actually try. You got to train the brain, like we were saying here.
Exactly. But anyway, guys, that is that's the main point of, you know, this Weekly Espresso episode. Just focus on the positivity, and just try to have a happier mindset, more joyful mindset. And again, if you guys have any questions, if you want to comment on this, anything whatsoever, we're on several social media platforms at Dustin LeBlue CEO. You know, any questions for Dustin himself personally, feel free to just DM us or comment. And dude, you're pretty spot on answering just about everybody.
I try to, man. And actually, so talking about positivity and seeing the positivity, you know, basically thanks for all the outreach. It's been kind of, you guys are influencing me and helping me. Like, I'm feeling great, man. I'm like really excited about this. So, so far, man, I'm having a blast, and I guess we'll just keep it there. Let's rock on.
All right. Right on, guys. But anyway, have a good weekend. Stay positive, and we will catch you all next week.